Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have two wonderful guests here, and they are in my hometown, Houston, Texas. Welcome, Sharonda. Did I say that right? And Savannah. I remember Savannah about 6 years ago, right? Is that when her book first came out?
Yes.
Savannah, do you have a copy of it? We lost ours in the floods
Oh no,
during Hurricane Harvey. But don't worry about it because it's in the link.
picture of it.
Okay, it's in the link in the description. We're so glad you're here today. And I'm going to let you take over, but I'm here. And if you need me, I will pop on the screen. So tell us about your writing process, your goals, your dreams, your desires, and your future with writing.
Okay.
There you go.
Savannah is the co-author. The book started, I journal. I love to write my thoughts down, just process how my day went, any ill emotions or thoughts. I just put it out on paper and try to discover how did I get to places like that. So that's how my writing journey originally started. So before I had released the book, me and Savannah's dad had separated when she was like 2 years old, and she wasn't really quite aware of how different our family dynamics had changed. And so I'll never forget, she was in pre-K, and kids really started to pay attention to details at that age. And one day she came home so distraught, and it was just like she drew a picture of just me and her, but she didn't really like it because it didn't look like her peers. You know, they had brothers and sisters and a father and a mother in their pictures, and it was just me and her, and ours. Well, the picture that she made of us. And so I didn't, God gave me the words to talk to her because she never questioned our situation. So I never talked about it. I was just thankful that we had an easy transition into our separation. And but that day she had questions. She had questions, and she was concerned why she was so different. And the Lord just gave me some words to share with her and let her know, family is not the people that's in the home, but the people that's in your heart. So of course I wrote this in my journal. And one of my good friends, she was like, you have really good stuff in here. She was just messing with my stuff one day at my house, and she was like, you could turn some of this stuff into a book, I'm sure. And that's really how I started my poetry, my journals into manuscripts. So from there, I reworded it in such a way that was very kid friendly because I wanted to appeal to a younger audience, to give them an insight of and give them some guidance. I know it helped Savannah when we had our talk about our family dynamics. And so just help children who may be going through the same thing as Savannah. And that's how it began. I self-published. I came up with my own publishing company. I bought my own ISBNs. I found a print by demand company in, I think, Illinois. So they, anytime I need more copies, that's who I reach out to. They have my whole template of my book. And when I say I need 500, they'll send 500. And so that's really how I got into writing. I'm actually working on 2 more of the Savannah Discover books. One is called Savannah Discovers Amazing Grace. I'm a special education teacher. I specialize with working with children with autism. And me and my journal in Savannah, I used to do in-home therapy for autistic kids before I decided to go full-time into the school system. And one particular little girl, her name was Grace, and she was so amazing and sweet and cute and had the most luscious curly hair I've ever seen. And she was completely obsessed with Savannah. So when I realized that, I started bringing Savannah to our sessions, and I was tell Savannah, do this to get her to do certain behaviors or say certain things. And that's how we, her parents are forever grateful. She's high functioning now, and she's doing really well in school. But it was because of Savannah coming on these sessions with us. And the second book that we're trying to get out is Savannah Discovers my baby brother. I just recently adopted a little boy who was abandoned at a hospital in 2019. I got him when he was like a week old, and now we have adopted him. So this is where my journey with writing kind of began. It actually was just therapy for myself, a place of release, because I'm kind of a private person, and I don't always want to share my thoughts with everyone. I have like 2 friends I share my thoughts just to get clarity on where my mind is going. And then, but for the most part, it's journaling and then going back and reading the things I wrote about that day or how I felt that day, and then kind of mapping out where I want to go with my thought process or with the rest of my life. So it started as journaling, and now it turned into books. And I'm so grateful that so many people have read it and felt, moved by it. And I'm just honored to be here for the summit today. So thank y'all so much for having me.
It is a pleasure, and I don't want to stop there, but we are so happy that you're here. And I didn't make it known that you are our keynote speaker. So everyone, this is our keynote speaker for the WWJ Youth Summit. Yes. So we have some questions, and then you just come on in and continue to talk as you like. First, everybody want to say hi. This is Michelle Ryder-Dozier. Say hello.
Hi.
And Jen, she was looking forward to you to come. She is yeah, she's the creator and the spirit behind WWJs. We just really excited. Nick said that his triplets are watching. They hear, well, they originally from Houston too. So there's so many children that's looking up to you and your daughter. I know my little girl, she was 8 at the time, and we had got a notification. I think it was through, I don't know, it was some social media when y'all came to Houston, and I think it was portion parties. Do you remember that back in the West?
Yes.
And it was another little girl, Matilda, I think that was her name. And that's what you were such an inspiration, not just for my daughter, but for me. I got goosebumps.
Oh, thank you.
So, yes. And just to see how you've grown, you were just a little bitty thing back then. You're beautiful.
Now, what a journey.
Yes, my daughter, same age, Peyton, she's talking about she wanted to write at the time, but she didn't pursue that. But we did have your books, and she's in the 9th grade too. So tell us a little bit, Savannah, if you don't mind, your process about writing, and go to the beginning when you first was with your mom writing this first book, Savannah Discovers.
It was really crazy because I didn't really know that she was journaling. I was like 4. I didn't, realize that she was drawing pictures in a notebook. And after like she told me it like a couple years later, I was like, oh wow, these are really good. And I'm so happy that you did it for yourself. And it just really turned into this really beautiful thing that I was happy to be a part of. I was just living my life, my mom's journey. And it turned into
you was like a little superstar there. You was so well posed, and my daughter was getting your autograph, and she took pictures. I wish I had them so I could show everyone. But yeah, that was a big deal, and it was so exciting. So, have you participated in any other book fairs or conference or anything in the past based on your Savannah Discovers?
I have. I've participated in some events in South Carolina and a few at my church. They have like an author's conference where everybody in the church who's written a book, they can get a table booth and sell their books at church. So I've done those type of events. And then I've recently gotten back with the illustrator. The funny story about my illustrator, he just fell in my lap.
Oh, you're so lucky. Tell us about that.
So, because now it's so easy to find illustrators all over the world through Fiverr, Canva, all these different things. But at the time, I was originally looking through MIT, like architect people, like people who are hungry for an opportunity to produce illustrations. And I couldn't find anyone. And I just about happened to take a girls' trip to Los Angeles. This is so funny. I took a girls' trip to Los Angeles with some friends. And they stayed up all night, enjoying the nightlife, and I didn't. So I got up really early the next morning, because I'm not a crowd lover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can relate.
So I wanted to see the scene early in the morning before everybody gets out. So I'm just walking, admiring things, and I get lost. And this random guy, who is my illustrator, he said, "You walked this way a few times. Are you okay? Are you lost?" And of course, Mom told me don't talk to strangers, and that stuck in my brain. I'm like, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. And then he saw me again like 15, 20 minutes later, and he said, "You sure you are okay?" I said, "I'm lost, and I don't know how to get back to my hotel." And so he ended up walking me to my hotel. I told him I went through a hotel, came out of another one, and then I don't know how I got on this street. And so we ended up finding the hotel that I was staying in. And during this walk, we were just sharing random things about ourselves. And I said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about pushing out a book. I think I have a really good idea. It's actually a true story. And I think it may be appealing to kids and parents who may be going through this particular struggle." He said, "Is it like a children's book? Like it's going to have pictures?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want it to be a children's book with pictures." Yeah. I'm just like, "Okay, yeah. Uh-huh." And he's like, "Well, I illustrate. Have you found you an illustrator?" And I'm like, what are the odds of that?
I know. Yes. That's God. That's definitely God.
At the time, I didn't even take him serious. I actually thought he was kind of flirting. And then, so we just swapped numbers. I reached out maybe 3 months later, because then it got really heavy on my heart. Like, okay, I need to really get this book out. And so I reached out to him, and he was like, "I didn't think you would ever call me." And after that, it was just beauty in the making. He made wonderful pictures. And even when my daughter looks at it, she's like, "Whoa, that looks like me," when she was smaller. So yes, definitely a line by God, because I was not looking. I was just taking a stroll, got lost, and he paid attention to details, and he listened and obeyed, and that's how we got there. Yeah. So that was
Wow.
the pictures came about with the illustrator.
Did you have any idea initially what you wanted Savannah to look like? Was she based on your daughter's appearance, or was the last minute deal, or what? Tell us.
Absolutely. It was this. I used to always put Savannah hair in these big poofy balls with curly hair, and I'm not a hairstylist at all. I didn't get that gene. And so I learned how to part her hair down the middle and put a ponytail here, ponytail here, and that was it. So we stuck with that type of hairstyle, and she was kind of tomboyish, but not. She loved the color purple, and she loved foo-foo dresses and stuff. She would wear the same tutu over and over and over. So just trying to make sure I incorporate these details of her. And so with the pictures, is the little girl with a purple tutu and some comeback boots.
Oh, how cute.
She was kind of a rough one. She would climb a tree, but in a dress.
Yep. That is so beautiful. Jen asks, how long did the process take from, I would say, the beginning of the brainstorming to the actually, and then break it down to how long it took to illustrate to publishing?
The illustration piece took quite some time, because I wanted, I didn't want digital illustrations. Digital illustrations, good God. They can produce those in like a week, but they all kind of look the same. They kind of look like, God forgive me, like weird Toy Story kind of pictures.
Yeah.
So I wanted something that looks very, I want to look like a book that I've picked up in my past. Like, gosh, I can't even think of one right now.
Oh, one of my favorites was If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. It had like
the details were there. Like if you give the mouse a cookie, you can see the details, the corduroy bear.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be like originally painted type of illustration. Okay. And he did. He hand painted every last one of them. He first sketched them out, and I would yay or nay it, and then he would start adding color, adding background details. We tried to keep it very simple. So in my head, I was thinking about the kind of books that I've read in my past that's really, near and dear to me, and then also the Peanuts. So if you notice in the book, you can't see the mother's face because you never saw the Peanuts.
That's
adult.
true, right?
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, Charlie Brown type, yeah. You never saw the adults.
Kind of energy where it definitely only focused on the children character. And so I tied those type of pieces together, and he displayed it wonderfully. I love the book. Really? Oh, it's one of Michelle's favorite books. But yeah, so we that process took a few months. But once you buy an ISBN, and it's better to buy them in bulks. They sell them in bulks of 10 or more. But when you buy one, it's almost just as expensive as buying 10. So and if you don't produce 9 books next year, it's okay. You have 9 ISBNs available for when you get those books out. But I bought a bulk of ISBNs. And look at me, it's 6 years later and I'm just now putting another book together. So I have them available for me. So you buy the ISBNs. I had to get an LLC to start the publishing company to produce the book under my name. At first, I did reach out to different publishing agencies. It's such a hit and miss with going to like a
traditional publisher.
Yeah, because right now it seems like they cater to celebrities. That's just my thought.
That's true. Yeah. We see a lot of that.
So you have to like show that you're selling books and before they can buy into you, but just to be like, hey, I got an idea. Who wants to publish me? You're gonna get dismissed. At least I did. I got dismissed from several different agencies. They didn't want to work with me. So that's the main reason why I did self-publishing. And the good thing with self-publishing, everything you sell comes right back into your home. What else? So the biggest, longest part of the process, if you're doing a children's picture book, is the illustrations. And like I said, they have so many new ways of, finding your illustrator and getting that work done in a timely fashion. If you have a deadline that you're trying to reach, it just didn't work all the way out for me at the time. I wasn't too crazy about it. Just looked like weird stick people 3D-ish. I don't know. It didn't work for me. So I'm not knocking anyone who goes that route. It just didn't work for me. But yeah, the illustrations, and then coming up with how you want your book cover to come. That was kind of like hard and not hard to say. Because like I wanted Savannah's face plastered on the front, but then you have to think about the outline, like, the bind of the book. What color you want? Do you want to be staple bind or a glued in bind? So all those details, once you start building your book, you have to really, I went to the library. After that, I was always in the library picking up different children's books, filling the material, looking at the sizes, what size I want my book to be. How do I want it shaped? Do I want it rectangular? Do I want it square? So just picking up books that I actually love reading all the time, and just why did this book is so attractive to me. So really thinking about the process and how you want people to feel when they touch your product. I think it's probably the hardest part. And if you're coming from the way I came into writing, which is just simply journaling, I wanted my book to have like a rhythm to it, like a little rhyming phase to it. So switching my words into rhymes, that took a little bit of a time because I still want the story to be authentic. So thinking about that, or do you just want to write a story and then get you an editor? Editors can be expensive. It wasn't expensive for me because I'm in education and I have brilliant English teacher friends.
Lucky, blessed.
So I reached out to like 4 of them. Let my favorite one be the last one. After everyone else said, this looks good, take this out, do this. And when I got to Miss Willis, and she said, this is good, this is great. The wording is perfect. And that's when I knew, okay, it is ready to be published. So finding, like I said, if you're doing a children's book with pictures, finding an illustrator, just making sure. Oh, and choosing fonts. Fonts. That was really hard because you want. I wanted like a Crayola handwritten looking font a little bit, but you also want it to be a font that people can actually read, because some of them, once it's printed, it looked a mess. So choosing a font was a little bit of a challenge too. Just making sure I still, had that look that I was looking for, but also it being legible for others to read it. So yeah, illustrator, turn into your if you're doing it the way I did it, turning your work into a manuscript, and then buying your ISBNs, starting your publishing company. And now they have so many different avenues. Kindle has a process now that's a whole lot cheaper, I believe, with being a self-published through Amazon and Kindle publishing. So they have so many avenues now, and just in 6 years of how you know. Yeah, I look at it and it's like it's getting easier and easier. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can probably push out 3 books this year. But,
did you go through a separate press company? You didn't go through Amazon for Savannah.
No, I went through a press company out of Illinois, and they print on demand. So,
okay.
So I would say I need 500 books, and they would print them, and I would sell them and pay them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What one thing that you learned through this was your first book, right? What was the biggest lesson that you learned from this? Whether it's something positive or negative that can share with everyone that we can pick up and learn from.
Tap into your social media. When I was on social media, I sold books like crazy. But so I have to get out of my own way, and especially with these next 2 books, I have to get out of my own way. But I'm not a person that I'm still old school, if that's if that's even a thing. Like in education, like right now, I was dying and teaching through Zoom. Like this was tough for me. I like to come and touch my kid's shoulder. Did you understand it, baby?
So I like those teachers.
I was dying, like not being near certain individuals when I knew they were struggling, and I couldn't make that personal connection. But if you're on social media, tapping, and I mean, just simply posting 1 time a week will do such amazing wonders for your journey and getting exposure to your product and your book, especially if it's your baby. And that was my baby too. So I would strongly, highly suggest. And I think about like Tabitha Brown.
Mm-hmm.
She went from just a small town, I'm talking about vegan food, to now she's on everything you see now. And it's because she pumped up that social media. So I would I think that was the biggest lesson I learned. Marketing is not the same anymore. Getting a PR and all those details. People want to see you doing real human things in real time and sharing your product while you're doing it. So I strongly suggest, if you want to get out there and if you want your book to reach every home, get in touch with learn your social media, learn the trends that's out there.
That is so true. So Ann asks, Savannah, are you working on a writing project?
Personally, not really. But I love, like, whenever my mom needs help with something, like, hey, you know a different word for this? It's like, sure. Like, I love helping whenever I need it. Most of the stuff is from her journal, so it's really mainly her. I was just living my life and just journaling.
Do you keep a journal? Do you follow Mama's footsteps with a journal? Your own personal journal?
Yeah, I do. Like, because whenever I was at a book fair, I always grab a journal because it had a really pretty pen. And I love whenever I have a weird day or awesome day, I'll write it down, and it really does help. I see why my mom did it for all these years, and I love doing it myself.
You have such an amazing relationship. I wish my $2 was right here. Mama, I want to write. I want to journal. I want to do this. That is so amazing. So the future, what do you see? Well, I know you did talk about coming up with some new books. Could you tell us a little bit more? What's your process from what was in the past versus now? What are you changing? I know social media is going to be one step. We're going to see you on social media.
Definitely social media. Tying in, it may even be more stories about Noah. For sure, more stories about him because he is now a part of our missing piece of the puzzle. Such a beautiful soul. He's taking a nap right now. He's absolutely funny. I was getting ready, and he is so obsessed with her. That's okay. That's another story. He wants to be like her. She makes earrings. Savannah makes earrings. That's her thing.
Oh, how cute! I love it.
She makes earrings, and she uses the study area where our desk is to make all her jewelries. And so she goes to the patio to take a few pictures of her earrings, and he stayed in there, and he climbs on the desk. This is a TMI, and lay down. He's tired, but he didn't want to leave Savannah's space. He climbs on top of the desk, lay down, and take a nap.
He wanted that attention. Oh, he's so cute.
First of all, how did he get on the desk? Second of all, who gets on a desk to take a nap? But okay. I text my best friend. I said, I'm torn between letting him stay there and carrying him, putting him in his bed because I don't want to wake him up. And I have this conference coming up. And she's like, put him in the bed.
He's like, have you ever had a cat? It's like, he's just like a cat. Like, whenever you're typing on the computer, he'll come over and type on the computer with you. It's so funny you see.
Oh, they love hearing about Noah in here. That is really good. So, for his marketing, you thinking about using her earrings a part of your book as a marketing? That could work,
I should.
Jury.
I post like every now and then. I post a picture because I've learned that was the thing I did learn. And when she started this whole jewelry making business, I was like, you need to post on social media. You need to wear your product. You need to show
mama.
Show how the girls bring it all into the camera. You need to show your product. And she wouldn't take it into real constructive advice. Mm-hmm. And then I said, I took a really nice picture with one pair of her earrings. And so when she posts that picture, she started getting sales. I said, see, I told you.
Wow, yes. So everyone wants to know, where can we find Savannah's jewelry?
I'm currently on Etsy. If you search up like That's Savannah Co, like so as in SEW, That's Savannah Co on Etsy, you'll find me. And I sell earrings and handmade items like scrunchies and hoodies as well.
Oh, wow, girl, you got your own business. But see, you and mama can combine those two together. Y'all will be amazing. Y'all are amazing. But just think of those two together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. And then when we got, but right before she said, you want some earrings? I'm like, yeah, give me some earrings to put on.
Those are beautiful. And I love earrings. I really do. And
we got into the jewelry at Noah's 20 months. He's 20 months. He'll be 2 in September. Oh my gosh, he'll be 2.
This is such an inspiration for young girls.
The way she got into crafting, my mom didn't have that gene, and she was such an on-the-go mom. So I didn't learn how to cook until in my 20s. I knew how to set a table, though. I could set a table. But messing with them pots and pans, not so much. I didn't know how to sew, and I told you guys I don't know how to do hair. So I was just thrown in this world, just out here. And so when Savannah started to come of age, I said, I'm so not going to allow her to experience that. So I put her in sewing lessons. I put her in lessons when she was like 7.
Yeah, and then one of my teachers, like my after-school teacher, she taught me how to crochet. And so, like, I still to do that to this day. Like, I'm crocheting a top right now, and it's fun.
Yeah, so that's how she bakes, she sews, she make earrings. But it was because of, again, the mishap I had. I'm trying to close that gap. Like, you do not want to be a strong woman, can't boil water.
Wow. I'm not going to talk about you. I've been down that route. I've been there. I've been. That's a great book series. Yeah, Learning with Savannah. Girl, you got so many ideas. I mean, wow. So have you ever thought about writing in any other genre, or just you want to focus on children's books?
I've thought about writing like a parenting book. I always do parent consultations. Some of my parents have my personal number, like, he's doing this, what should I be doing? It's something near and dear to me. It actually just fell into my lap working with kids with child development issues. So I would probably like to piece something together to kind of, if not a book, definitely like videos, just so they can see how that looks, and maybe just demonstrate with Noah, like when your child is doing this, and just teaching parents to be transparent in their parenting. What I've noticed, some parents have a different language with their kid, but that's not the language of the land. Like, I was telling one parent I was working with, I think they were calling the bottle something totally different. And then when she went to her doctor's appointment, the doctor asked, like, or is he saying high frequency words, like things that he's utilizing all the time? She's like, yeah, he can say bottle. And then so when the doctor like tried to get the kid to say bottle, and then she realized, oh wait, we don't call it that. We just call it the BB. Because that's yeah. So, being transparent in our parenting, noticing when there's something different or something where our kids are not making those milestones. Now what do we do? And reaching out. We're in such a weird like time, I guess. It's a blessing and a curse, because like you can reach anybody in the world in a split second, but then sometimes you just need that person right here by you kind of feel. And I tell parents, start going back to the parks. Go to parks.
Oh,
yes. And you'll meet parents who have kids the same age as you, and y'all can have those discussions like, what is your little Johnny doing? Well, mine is doing these different things. And then you can start mapping out, oh, okay, we probably should be doing that more to get these type of behaviors. Since, because, everybody don't go to everyone's house like they used to anymore. You don't go to your neighbor's house. Some people don't even know their neighbors. Some people don't even know their neighbors. So I said, just trying to give different ways of parenting to build those skill sets, and reminding parent of just different time, building those play times, like playing a board game, having a traditional day where this night we do not watch TV. We're going to sit and play board games. And then you build those communication skills, you build those fine motor skills, those gross motor skills, just like playing Monopoly or something. So that's something I'm really kind of, my heart is starting to tug at for.
You should do this, and you're going to do this. I will suggest to you, to our keynote speaker, join a community. Get involved with a community. Break out of that shell, because people like the WWJs and those that are watching our video, you are such an inspiration. You have so much going and so many ideas with you and your daughter. I can see the future. I really can.
Yeah. I definitely get into a community. I'm trying, practice what I preach.
Definitely. And don't be shy of social media, because this is your market. This is definitely your daughter can tell you she sold those earrings. So y'all put that whole package together. Wow.
One of my videos, I had posted like a videos, it was like I had made a new TikTok, and one of my videos got like 15,000 views. I was like,
oh my goodness. Okay. Give me the name of your Etsy site so I can type it in. Everybody wants the name of it. I don't know if you can type it or I can.
So, Savannah.
Okay, I didn't get it. Y'all gonna have to spell it to me.
Oh, wait. I put it in the comments.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yes.
And that's all your social media. That's Savannah. Yeah.
Oh, that's Savannah. I love it. So good. Oh, I just want to thank you. You want to share maybe a comment to a young writer or someone that's wanted to break into children's writing? What advice would you give them? The greatest advice that you would give them?
My advice, when you feel yourself becoming, you don't want to ever stifle your creativity. So when you feel burnt out, when you feel overwhelmed, stop, pause. When you get a inspiration, write. And if you're not in a position, I guess sometimes I get my inspiration just driving my car. Get your phone and record yourself, and then go write those thoughts down. But never get in the way of your creativity, because then you're not your authentic self. I think that's the best advice. I've seen some of my best work professionally and personally when I stop, when my creativity is no longer in the front seat. I just stop, focus on something else that I can put more energy into. You know, never kill your energy. Like, use your energy for something else. But when it's, don't pressure yourself. Like, I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out. I gotta stay in the realm of your creativity. That is so, so important.
That's
and
beautiful.
I think that's why my book was so successful, because it honestly came from a very creative place. And it was
That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So I just want to thank you. And please don't be a stranger, because we want to follow you on your social media platform. Are you on Twitter yet? Okay. But you're going to let us know. You're going to keep us updated. We're going to stay in touch. And
absolutely.
Yes, because we want to follow you and we want to support you. And we are so thankful and blessed that you and your daughter joined us today. You are such a blessing. Yes, you are.
Thank you for reaching out to us. We are so honored. When I got the email, like, oh, thank you, Jen. Thank you so much for your email. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Anyone have any last questions you want to type in the comments so we can share? And if not, we just want to thank you. You've been such a blessing. Jen said, yes, she was so blessed. And it's an honor. It's an honor having you here. Please stay in touch. I'm going to stay in touch with you because you right here at home. This is home. So thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you in our next. Bye.
Bye.